Hello, welcome again to our Positivity Media channel. Today we brought you a documentary of Shaka Zulu. Stay with me as I narrate you on the life and legacy of Shaka Zulu. Introduction: the making of a legend. Few African leaders have inspired as much fascination, admiration, and debate as Shaka Zulu. To some, he was a ruthless conqueror whose military campaigns reshaped southern Africa. To others, he was a visionary strategist and nation-builder who transformed a small clan into a powerful kingdom. Shaka's life was dramatic, filled with rejection, survival, ambition, innovation, conquest, betrayal, and ultimately assassination. His story is not merely about war, it is about transformation, the creation of the Zulu kingdom and the reshaping of an entire region's political landscape. Early life, rejection and survival. Circa 1787 to 1802, Shaka was born around 1787 in what is now South Africa. He was the son of Senzangakona, a minor chief of the Zulu clan, and Nandi, a woman from the Langeni clan. However, Shaka's birth was controversial. His parents were not formally married according to custom, and as a result, Shaka and his mother were ostracized. They faced humiliation and hardship. In Zulu oral history, Shaka and Nandi were mocked and forced to leave the Zulu clan's territory. This painful childhood shaped Shaka profoundly. He grew up, experiencing social rejection, witnessing his mother's suffering, developing emotional toughness and resilience. These early wounds would later influence both his ambition and his harshness. Warrior in exile, training under Dingiswayo. As a young man, Shaka found refuge in the powerful Mthethwa Confederacy under Chief Dingiswayo. Dingiswayo recognized Shaka's potential. Under his mentorship, Shaka learned advanced military organization, understood large-scale political alliances, developed tactical discipline. Unlike many chiefs of the time, Dingiswayo had begun organizing regiments based on age groups rather than family ties, a system that would heavily influence Shaka's later reforms. Shaka distinguished himself as a brave and innovative warrior. He was tall, physically strong, and exceptionally disciplined. 3. Rise to power, seizing the Zulu chieftaincy, 1816. In 1816, Shaka's father Senzangakona died. Through Dingiswayo's support, Shaka was installed as chief of the relatively small Zulu clan. However, this was only the beginning. At the time, the Zulu were a minor clan. They were not yet a kingdom, they had limited influence. Shaka had larger ambitions: military revolution, transforming warfare. Shaka is most famous for revolutionizing warfare in southern Africa. The Ikwa spear. Traditionally, warriors used long throwing spears. Shaka introduced a short stabbing spear called the Ikwa. This forced close combat, increasing battlefield intensity and discipline. The buffalo horn formation. Shaka developed a famous military tactic. The chest engaged the enemy head-on, the horns flanked and surrounded the enemy, the loins remained in reserve. This formation became devastatingly effective. Rigorous discipline. Shaka enforced strict military training. Soldiers went barefoot to toughen their feet. Long-distance marches became routine. Cowardice was severely punished. His army became one of the most feared forces in southern Africa. A time of upheaval. Shaka's expansion contributed to a period known as the Mfikane, the crushing. During this era, numerous communities were displaced, new kingdoms formed, warfare intensified across the region. It is debated among historians how much of the Mfikane was directly caused by Shaka and how much was influenced by drought, trade pressures, and regional instability. Regardless, Shaka's campaigns dramatically reshaped southern Africa's political map. 6. Building the Zulu kingdom. Shaka did not merely conquer, he consolidated. He absorbed defeated clans into the Zulu system. Young men joined regiments, loyalty was redirected toward the king, cultural unity strengthened. He centralized power in a way few had done before in the region. The Zulu kingdom grew rapidly, becoming a dominant regional force. Personality, genius and ruthlessness. Accounts of Shaka vary. He was described as charismatic, strategically brilliant, highly intelligent, but also harsh, suspicious, capable of extreme punishment. After the death of his mother Nandi in 1827, Shaka reportedly entered deep mourning. Oral traditions say he forbade planting crops for a year, executed thousands accused of insufficient grief. Some historians believe these accounts may be exaggerated, but they reflect his reputation for severity. Assassination, 1828, Shaka's rule ended violently. In 1828, he was assassinated by his half-brothers Dingaan and Langana, with the assistance of a royal servant. Shaka had no legitimate heir. His intense rule and strict policies had created enemies even within his own family. After his death, Dingaan took power. The Zulu kingdom continued, eventually confronting European settlers. Historical debate and legacy. Shaka's legacy is complex. Some portray him as a bloodthirsty tyrant, others see him as a military genius, a state builder, a symbol of African resistance and pride. His story later inspired literature, television, and academic study. His influence continued long after his death, especially during conflicts between the Zulu kingdom and British forces in the 19th century. He remains one of Africa's most iconic historical figures. 10. Conclusion. The Lion of the Zulu. Shaka Zulu transformed a minor clan into a kingdom that commanded respect and fear. His innovations reshaped warfare, redefined leadership, altered Southern African history. He was neither purely hero nor purely villain, but undeniably transformative. In the annals of African history, Shaka stands as a warrior, a strategist, a nation builder. A legend whose shadow still stretches across the plains of southern Africa.